Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. How's it going? Bit of a different one for me today. This is my first time kind of ever doing this, but the first time in a long time doing anything live. All my videos recently have been very scripted. I feel like it's kind of it suits me best to do things that way, but my recent video, my latest one about the history of all the Destiny 2 showcases squelched into one video. It did really well thanks to like everyone who commented, everyone who liked, all of the Wardcliff Coil gang. Shout out to you guys. And a couple of very eagle-eyed viewers of that video have noticed a pretty big omission, let's say. I completely and utterly forgot that I to put anything from the Lightfall campaign into the video. And there was someone on Reddit who posted a little image saying that that was the best joke. That was the best joke I made in the whole video, leaving it out. And dude, I wish it was a joke. I legit forgot. I don't know how. I don't know why. Like, is it some weird psychological protection that my mind has just blocked? That's why I don't do live videos. That shit. I'm gonna leave that in though. My mind just blocked it out. Didn't want me to rewatch it. I don't know, but I didn't include it, and it wasn't on purpose. So I kind of felt like things were a little bit incomplete. I have plenty of ideas for what videos I'm making in my kind of little pipeline at the moment. But I thought, hey, it could be a fun challenge for me to do a video like this, a live video, but also I think it will be an interesting video to go back to right now for two reasons. Well, one, because I already made a compilation of all the other ones, and I've been watching them recently, and that was a fun experiment, and it feels a little weird to leave it out completely. And secondly, I think now is a good time for a Lightfall retrospective. Why? Because, well, we've had plenty of time to, mess around with the Lightfall content, with some of the season pass offerings, and more importantly, we've had the final shape showcase. So we know what's coming next. We know where the Lightfall seasonal structure story is going to end roughly. We don't know how, but we know where it's going, let's say. So to look back at Lightfall at this point, take it all into consideration, what they revealed at this time, what they delivered afterwards, how we felt about it before and afterwards, what I liked, what I didn't like. I think it's all it's a good time to do that. So yeah, I am going to do a live reaction. We're going to watch the whole video from start to finish. I'm going to stop, start, comment on things whenever I feel like it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it's more. I hope good stuff. I don't know. I never know how to do these things. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive into the Lightfall reveal, courtesy of GameSpot on YouTube.
So awesome to be here with you again.
Last time we got up here, we got a chance to
Love Joe
show you
Blackburn, man.
Savathun, the Witch Queen, and her
Look at those
majestic
nods.
throne world.
Powerful nods.
Since then, it's been a wild year for Destiny.
You return to the original loot cave to reclaim the fabled Gallarhorn.
Okay, ignoring that weird, I don't know, artifact thing. Loot cave. God damn. Spoiler, I don't know, outing myself as a, quote unquote recreator, a creator. I have never played the Loot Cave dungeon. I didn't buy the 30th anniversary pack. At the time, I was kind of on a hiatus from Destiny. Didn't buy Witch Queen on launch. Didn't buy the 30th anniversary ever. Did get it for free with Epic. Did try it a little bit. Did not play the Loot Cave dungeon, largely because I didn't want to have two versions of Destiny installed on my PC. That's like 250 gigs. I don't know. I didn't really give it a good go. I don't have Galahorn. I mean, I had it in Destiny 1. I don't have it now. Honestly, don't really know how that dungeon was even received. That kind of brief moment in Destiny 2 lifespan is kind of a black hole for me in terms of what people enjoyed, what they didn't enjoy, etc. So Is it good? Is that a good dungeon? I don't know. Anyway, powerful nods by Joe Blackburn, looking back on the controversially priced 30th anniversary pack. Let's move on.
Then, you exorcised an ancient evil from a hive queen.
I forgot about that exotic. That was cool. I barely used it, but it was, a bug gun. It's definitely an interesting choice. Don't really think it had any role beyond, some fun though, unfortunately. And I think the Destiny 2 exotic, you know what, I'm going to save that thought for later. It'll probably come up. I have some opinions on exotics in general and the weapon pool at the moment in the game, where it's going, the problems with power creep, and the kind of saturation of power creep with where we are right now. But I digress. Let's let Joe tell us some more.
So you could put it inside a grenade launcher.
And now, you've been spending the past few weeks cleansing a derelict Leviathan from its twisted nightmares.
Okay, that season was fucking cool. I came back to Destiny 2 after hiatus just before Lightfall. I think this season was ending, and then Season of the Plunder was starting, and that's where I returned. I really liked this season. Storyline was really cool. It was dark, it was gritty. It really felt like they were heading down this path of a very serious, grounded, gritty, dark story. And then Lightfall Lightfall was revealed, which I'll talk about more for sure in this video, and Season of the Plunder came out. It was like such a 180 in tone. It was really strange. And definitely a problem Destiny has in, the kind of flippity floppity use of themes, tone, things like that. But yeah, this is like 30 seconds of video. I'm sure all of this will come up later on.
In fact, the last year has been the best year we've
What a fucking mustache though, right?
ever had in the Destiny community. I hope you can feel it as well. And seeing this kind of reaction,
Yeah, things were things were going great back then. Like, I left for a while after Beyond Light for around the time Witch Cream came out, and yeah, things were Bungie was flying high. Destiny 2 was apparently a good game. General consensus was game good, so yeah, that was a high point for sure.
from our community, it's both humbling and inspiring.
Because our team here at Bungie, we're not just developers, we're also guardians. We're trying to build what we'd love to play in Destiny, and that's what brought each one of us here. Brought us not only to Bungie.
Putting his hands in the pants, doesn't know what to do with the hands. Absolutely relatable. That's why you gotta love him. He's just grounded. The bootcut jeans, man, the hoodie, the mustache, man of the people.
But also brought all of us to this final showdown between light and darkness.
So, without further ado, this is the beginning of the end. This is Lightfall.
I'm gonna pause it here. My expectations in this moment were drastically different than what we actually received. And that's... I'm going to say that's for two reasons. One, because of everything we just had leading up to this. So, Season of the Haunted, I believe it was called, was so dark. For Destiny, it was so dark. It was gritty. It was so dark. It was so gritty. I really thought that they were leaning into that and they were going to continue pushing that kind of narrative. Secondly, if anyone remembers something that was covered in my beautiful video about the history of Destiny 2 showcases, when they initially announced Lightfall, along with the Witch Queen and Beyond Light, I believe, even the artwork was dark. I mean, the name Lightfall, it suggested just like something catastrophic was going to happen. We were going to lose, a sort of similar to the Destiny 2 vanilla plot. We were going to lose something, hopefully a better plot than that. But, the idea would be that maybe the city gets destroyed and we're scattered to the winds, or the witness drags us into the middle of the... I don't even know. I expected things to be dark. And, well, anyone who remembers the trailer knows that's not really the vibe at all. I mean, the vibe was shocking. Vibe shock was off the chain. So, let's see. Yeah, I mean, even this first image, I was like, huh? Destiny? It was cool, like...
They see this glorious end.
Callus is awesome, man. Rest in peace to the golden thumb.
They will come for us.
Strand. Strand I mean, for sure I'll talk about it more, but Strand more or less saved Lightfall from being an absolute dumpster fire. That's for sure.
To savor the fruitless struggle to its last drop. It's who they are.
Cloud Striders. Boy, do I have thoughts about them. Also, we'll save it for later.
Let them come and see. Our shape reveal what they do then. Unshackled from
This also was extremely surprising. I remember the reactions to the grapple hook. I mean, what an addition. Say what you want about the expansion, but that tool alone was just such a simple way to break up the sandbox. You know, it changed things a lot. Just like Stasis did, honestly, with the ice and the, you know, creating another way to manipulate the environment, not just relying on new types of, you know, weapon archetypes or perk combos or whatever. It was a drastic shift in what you could do with the game, with the sandbox, and that was really cool. And this cinematic is awesome. Like, I'm probably going to sound overtly negative, but it was really cool. It was just very left field compared to my expectations, I think.
That is who they are. Because only in the end are we free.
Lightfall. It looks like a Transformers logo or something. Like, everything about it was just so unexpected to me. Yeah, just not what I thought was coming, you know?
I've seen that thing 100 times now, and every time I see it, I still kind of get goosebumps.
Instantly, I had chills.
Same, bro.
It's all here. It's all happening now. Things are finally coming to a head.
Thematically, we really have been honing in on that kind of bombastic, big set piece approach.
It's gonna be over-the-top action, adrenaline pumping, like the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, was it though? Was it? The gameplay was cool. I mean, I'm not going to get into the narrative right now, but, you know, bruh. The characters, bruh. I mean, Lightfall was fun. In fairness, it was fun. Just maybe... yeah, let's just keep going.
This is really kicking off the conclusion to the light and dark side.
This was... I think this is where they were... This is where they were getting me. Like, it didn't... It kicked off the story, immediately stopped the story, you know, slapped down an unrelated chunk in the middle, and then bookended it with, you know, okay, here's the story again, and that's all we've really had as we lead into, you know, the final shape. All these theories that they had just sort of made up this Lightfall expansion or restructured everything to create an extra expansion, whether that's for financial, you know, development time reasons, I don't know. But it even though Joe Blackburn came out and more or less said, "No, that's not true, bro," I still find it so hard to believe that this was always the plan. It's too weird. So yeah, they did start the they did start the final shape story, but they just tickled it and, you know, had us do a montage 80s movie thing on Neomuna for 8 hours in between. Yeah.
Okay. Where we finally face down this foe that we've been anticipating facing
Still anticipating it, bruh. Still. Yeah.
for so long. It's pushing it to 11.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop pausing it because it's ridiculous. But yeah, some of the stuff they say in these, it is cringe. I do understand why they do it. They have to be hype, but Lightfall didn't push it to 11. That's for sure.
We've been hinting at this malicious force in the darkness that's been our enemy behind a lot of our conflicts. We revealed that enemy, we put a name on it and put a face on it, and that enemy is the Witness. And the Witness is coming with its newly...
The Witness is cool. I will give them that. As a villain, I actually think... I don't even know. Is it a she, he, they, whatever. The Witness is... I like it. I like the... You know, the random lore drop we got in the middle of a season and not in the Lightfall expansion about the origins of the Witness. Really cool. The motives of the Witness, you know, the idea that they want to just kind of freeze frame life in this really fucked up way because that's the way everything should be, is creepy. I like it. I do wish there was maybe an enemy type to go along with them. That would have been a nice change of things, but yeah, can't have it all, I guess. But yeah, the Witness is cool. Our boy Callus right here, really cool. Gonna miss that voice for sure. Rest in peace, big boy. Spoilers if for some reason you're watching this and you didn't know what happened in Lightfall, but Callus goes bye-bye.
empowered disciple, Callus.
Callus is really crash landing with a new and more powerful army than ever before.
More powerful? I don't know, man. They just had big backpacks and green stuff. But okay.
They've got new powers, they've got new
backpacks.
armor, they've got tormentors to join their ranks that are going to be bigger and badder enemies than we've ever faced. Callus is taking that army that he's bringing with him to be the harbinger of the Witness.
Yeah, I will talk about tormentors. They are really cool, but I'm pretty sure they're going to get their own little section here at some point, so yeah.
Mrs. Doom.
This is such a pivotal moment for Destiny. Everyone is coming to have a last stand with Callus and the Witness to really avoid the next collapse, something that we've been trying to avoid ever since Destiny 1.
I mean, that's like where the problems start. The idea that we're all having this last stand to avoid the final second collapse, whatever. I mean, the whole way through the campaign, you don't really know why you're on Neomuna. Everyone keeps talking about the Veil and what it's, you know, there's no... during that gameplay, I still didn't really get what I was doing there. It was cool, I guess, but I was just shooting stuff going, okay, yeah, Witness, Veil, Callus, Jetpack guys, yeah, I mean... The delivery of the narrative was extremely poor. And I don't think Bungie can even really deny that. They have no grounds to stand on, but... yeah, for a build-up to the final shape, this was not it. This was not it.
We see in the trailer that we're headed to Neptune, and on Neptune there's been this hidden city called Neomuna,
Convenient, I think. Not.
where an alternate version of humanity has been blooming since the collapse.
Neomuna is the capital city of Neptune. It's a giant metropolis.
Capital city. So there are more, yeah, there must be more cities, more Neomuni, towns and villages. Never thought about that.
That we were completely unaware existed until now. What's interesting and exciting to me about this place is that it's pristine, it's new. It's not like a lot of the places that we've explored previously in Destiny.
As a destination, again, I feel like I'm being really negative, but I didn't particularly enjoy it. There was some cool elements, but it felt very empty. When they told me this was the capital city of the Neomuni, and I was expecting to meet civilians, you know, kind of under siege, holding out bunkers and buildings, fighting off the jetpack boys, and, you know, this whole concept they all went into the cloud was a bit meh, kind of a cop-out, and yeah, the whole the whole, you know, the whole area was just empty. lifeless. Like, it was just a very overdone, you know, cyberpunk, neon, jerk off kind of concept art. I didn't particularly vibe with it, and it had so much more potential, I think.
Exploring that space is very, very cool.
I mean, compare exploring the Dreadnought or the Dreaming City with exploring Neomuna. You don't. It's not even in the same ballpark.
There's so much new stuff to discover in Neomuna and in Neptune. And also I saw some new characters there. I'm really excited to get to know Cloud Striders and their story.
Who is that? Like, I don't reckon. Is that person? Was that just like a concept art? Cloud Strider? I don't. That's not Nimbus, right? Or Rohan. I don't know who that is. Or maybe it is, and I'm just misremembering. But I'm guessing actually in this showcase we won't get to see either of them. That was probably revealed later. The specific characters, and goddamn, I do have a lot of thoughts on Nimbus and Rohan. That's for sure. If they don't come up in the video, I'll try mention them somewhere later on.
Cloud Striders
Oh no. Well, they're right here 2 seconds later. Okay.
can be compared to Guardians. They're both protectors of a civilization that's potentially under threat, but Guardians were chosen. It's their duty to protect humanity. Cloud Striders have chosen to protect their people.
There's like an awesome opportunity for the Guardians to learn from the Cloud Striders and their way of living and their philosophy of life.
So we've got the newness of that city, the newness of the Cloud Striders that we've never been aware of.
And then, of course, you get a glimpse of this green energy.
The green energy. This was hype. Not gonna lie. I am a fan of Strand. I think it was one of the best additions to the game in a long time.
I wonder what that is.
Strand
cool.
is the new darkness power that we discover here. Something that's unique about Strand, unlike any of these other powers we've ever had before, when you play through Lightfall, you are discovering this power for the first time. No.
Yeah, like the way Strand is introduced to the game was ridiculous, and no wonder it lent so much credence to the fact that people believed, you know, this was a cut, this was just created content to fill the gap. Literally, you just kind of felt the vibe, and you found Strand. There was nothing concrete about its discovery. Let's just say, thank God it was so fun, because otherwise, yeah, it would have been a big doo-doo.
No one in the universe ever in the history of Destiny has used Strand before.
This is the Guardian discovering darkness on their own and learning how to shape it and manipulate it and use it against Callus and his forces, and, you know, have fun in the new urban environment of Neo.
Also, the verticality that they really seem to highlight in these trailers didn't exist. Barely, at least. Also disappointing. I kind of expected much more verticality, a lot of skyscraper jumping, a very different type of environment, but it wasn't.
Luna, you are really gonna have to prepare yourself for a wild ride.
God damn, I sound so negative. I'm really not trying to be. Yeah. Let's just go.
We just got a glimpse of our new destination, Neomuna, our new foe, Callus, and
New foe? Dude, Callus has been in here since Vanilla, my man. He is one of, if not the oldest villain we have remaining right now. Or, well, we had remaining at the time.
the Shadow Legion, paired with the
This dude's like, what are you talking about, man? What are you talking about?
Witness, and a
Smile
very
and
brief
nod.
glimpse at Strand, but that's just barely scratching the surface of
That's not. That's tunneling deep into the surface. There was barely any more.
what this release has to offer.
Right, like what we've just seen in that trailer is just the tip of the iceberg, and we've got a whole lot
Is it
more
though?
we're excited to show you coming up.
Last year, we wanted to
Joe!
return to our studio's roots in creating some of the best shooter campaigns in the industry.
That guy also doesn't know what to do with his hands. Got the thumb in the pockets trick going on though, and he's rocking it, man. Love the jacket.
That's been our legacy since Halo, and we tried to push that front and center in the Witch Queen.
And it's about more
Like The Witch Queen, I swear I cannot say the Witch Queen. Witch Queen, Jesus. The Witch Queen properly. Every time I mess it up. The Witch Queen, like, hamstringed Bungie so much. It's insane. If the Witch Queen hadn't existed, I think Lightfall probably would have been received a lot better. Not that that's a good thing, but yeah, it set the bar way too high for the campaign, for the environment. Yeah, tough Bungie.
More than just guns, but creating an adventure in a handcrafted world full of surprises. Then we added the legendary campaign option, because great combat needs to challenge you.
Legendary
to test
campaign
your thumb skills,
is,
your tactics,
yeah,
and your
what a great addition. Like, nothing bad to say about that. Really cool.
build crafting.
And we heard loud and clear that you want more of that. In fact, 2 out of every 3 players that completed the Witch Queen campaign did it on Legendary.
You tested yourself against the Witch Queen in her Lucent Hive and rose to that challenge. And then you let us know it was one of the best shooter experiences that we've ever made.
Yep, credit where credit's due. That was really cool. And I just hope that the Final Shape campaign is even better. And I think it is shaping up to be. Yeah, fool me once, call me whatever, you know the phrase, but I think they're going to do it.
So with Lightfall, we want to push that even further. We want to give you the best Bungie action experience that we can create with the brand new Lightfall campaign.
Yikes.
Lightfall is going to change the way that our players move, fight, and explore.
This dude is an absolute hero. Like, I featured every clip of him in the showcase video that I did last week because I'm not dunking, I'm not memeing. Legit, this guy is fucking awesome. And I hope they keep adding him to every showcase, everything they do, because what a man, what a hero.
Or everywhere in Destiny.
Neptune is this fantastic destination. The capital city of Neomuna is a really fun place to explore, and it's
like, I am pulling this directly from YouTube. These artifacts are really weird. That is not how Neomuna looks, I promise.
this bright neon metropolis. There's a harbor.
That view right here, it looks empty, right? It looks like Cyberpunk PS4 release or something. That is how it feels most of the time. There's just nothing there. It's like it feels like a test environment or something.
Office buildings, an arcade.
Office building, arcades, yeah, those are cool, but they don't feel like they're alive at all. Like, you're for a studio that's just been so good at environmental storytelling, I feel like they kind of dropped the ball a little bit. I don't want to be too harsh because it did look beautiful. It's just it felt inorganic, like it was like an airport, you know? Yeah, that's what that's gonna be my final description of Neomuna, Neptune. It's an airport full of things, but none of it feels alive or real. Like, it's just something you're passing through to get to somewhere else, to do something else.
This is a city that we've made, and using Strand to traverse through it and explore it, it's going to be so exciting.
There's some places that once you whip out that grab.
Strand traversal was really cool, but again, the verticality was a big mislead.
Like, ooh, you're going to be able to explore and get to places that you couldn't before.
Look at that up there. I wonder if I can grapple to there. I'm going to be a kid in a candy store.
Again, just showing off verticality constantly. I don't know.
It's not a city that is collapsed. It is a
Do the sounds. Do the sounds!
City that has lived through the collapse.
Neptune now has to deal with the cloak being pulled back and them being revealed to the world and are now central of the conflict.
Callus has taken his capital ship and just planted it right down in part of the city, and it's Cabal occupied territory. It's a city under siege. You've got this infiltrator vibe at times where you feel like a tactical team going into a skyscraper. You're dealing with Cabal roadblocks and patrols all throughout the city.
Yeah, but they're talking about the city being at war. They're not fighting anyone. Who are they roadblocking against? Everyone is like a fucking sim. They're all virtual ghosts. And there's 2 Cloudstriders who turn up every now and then. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of missed potential.
The Shadow Legion, they provide that like characteristic Cabal brute strength. They're all about like volatility and power, and they've been enhanced now by pyramid technology.
Backpacks.
They have these suppression devices that can take away some of your super, or take away some of your abilities, and then they fight alongside these terrifying new pyramid units called Tormentors.
Tormentors are really cool. Another great addition. I've already forgotten the name of the two new ones coming in the final shape, but again, I think a cool and smart way of, you know, changing up the combat situation without adding a new race, rather than just adding in a bunch of red bars that we, you know, one shot with every gun in the game anyway. They've kind of supplemented what we already have with these cool and very, at times, very challenging, you know, boss type enemies.
As part of his discipleship to the Witness, Callus has been upgraded. And so the Tormentors that they've brought in are these impossibly huge, unstoppable...
I mean, I stopped quite a few of them.
Behemoths. They wield scythes, they can attack from a distance, they can bring you in close, they can drain your very life force from you. They are basically embodiments of terror.
It's like a boss character within the battlefield. Your stomach drops. You're like, okay, I'm playing through, I'm having fun, I'm popping heads, doing this thing, and then boom, there it is.
I thought I was going to do a sound effect. I was so engrossed. It's happening, it's happening. I'm sure it'll come eventually.
We've got all the new stuff going into the game. Strand, Tormentors, Shadow Legion, a cool new environment. These are all a great setting for a new Legendary campaign, and we're still making sure that we go through and we tweak and tune and we balance the encounter.
Yeah, it had some moments. You know, it wasn't terrible. I think the gameplay was fine, more or less. It was more of the narrative that me and almost everyone had issues with.
To have that right challenging level of difficulty for players.
The Legendary campaign was a huge hit coming out of the Witch Queen. It was the first time we had done that sort of elected difficulty where you could really test your skill and test your power. And so we're going to bring that back for Lightfall.
Of course, you're still going to have that higher reward tier, and we still want to make sure that you get that inside track towards being raid ready.
Everyone back in the studio is so hard at work on Lightfall, putting in the details and making this whole release come alive and continue to surprise and delight players.
Just a side thought, they wanted you to do all this to be raid ready, and it ended up being the easiest raid in Destiny history. Thankfully, from what I've seen about Crota's End, I haven't done it myself, but it seems like they've turned that around too. But yeah, definitely a kind of foreboding note here, I guess.
Players, I am so excited to get this out.
Lightfall is unlike anything.
Quicksilver, what a gun. Absolutely love it. 10 out of 10. GG, exotic designer.
Players have seen before in Destiny, and it's another step that sends you hurtling to the conclusion of the Light and Dark saga.
It didn't send me hurtling, man. It just kind of, you know, started some foreplay and then disappeared for 8 hours. Strand, yeah, really cool, really fun. And I actually haven't played Strand on the other classes. I've only played Hunter since. Yes!
Come on. Amazing.
I'm super excited to dive into Strand and talk about all the new stuff that we just saw.
Strand, like Stasis, is a power from the darkness. Unlike our light abilities, which are all about creation, darkness...
Bungie really like to just film people nodding in response to stuff about their game. Like every I don't know if you notice, every showcase they just do that. They have some dude just yeah, oh yeah. I don't know, just felt like pointing it out, I guess.
Is more about consciousness.
Strand is psychic energy that forms this extra dimension, or this sort of matrix.
It's green. It's just green.
That connects everything together, connects all living beings and all minds. And you, the Guardian, are sort of gaining the knowledge and gaining the power to peer into this alternate psychic universe and begin to pull at these threads and tug at these wires that are connecting all these living beings.
When Guardians learn how to use Strand, it's almost like this third eye opens up. It's about peeling back the curtain of reality.
Like, I get it, you know, I know they need to say these things, but it was just a fun magic green grapple lasso bomb thing, you know? None of this matters at all. Like the way it's introduced in the game, the way you use it, none of this matters at all. It's just funny to look back on it, I guess. I never realized these things as I'm watching the showcase. It's only in hindsight when I've played it, I'm like, this is just green, you know? Yeah.
Taking those connections and then weaving them into new objects.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool to see them come together. Like, it's always been there, and now that we can tap into it, we can...
Why can we tap into it though? Why? Why? Do you know? I don't think they even know.
Use it for our benefit, whether it's through movement or through damage.
Strand has a grappling hook. Since you're seeing into this cosmic web, you are able to grapple at any point because the cosmic web...
I still never did that with the train. Just crossed my mind. I never tried it. Looks cool.
...exists everywhere. Even if there's not an object there, it will hook on to that web.
Yeah, that was crucial because, you know, the verticality didn't actually exist.
And pull you forward. It's just taking that idea to the next level, putting that destiny spin on it.
Yep. The grappling hook initially started as part of the Hunter's Kit, right? They're all about...
Can you imagine if they kept it on the Hunter? Oh my god. Reddit would have been on fire. For sure.
Fluid movement, rapidly
I wouldn't complain. Hunter main here.
traversing space and being very agile. But as we were developing, it's like, oh man, this feels like it's too much fun to just keep it to one class, right? So we made the call to expand this super cool new ability across all 3 classes. On the design,
really nice artwork. Yeah.
Inside, we wanted to come up with how each of the classes interpreted this additional psychic dimension, like in their own way, right? So the Warlock, they're the telekinetic master of Strand. So they're going to be able to telepathically reach into the Strand dimension, pull matter out, and weave it into this big barrage of these Strand missiles. Wherever they land, these missiles are actually going to unravel, sort of reweave themselves into a new form.
With the Titan, you're able to weave these claws and do an area of damage.
I think people were complaining about the Titan a little bit at the time, if I recall correctly, if I recall Reclek. And yeah, I mean, it turned out to be bomb. It turned out to be really cool. So GG's to Bungie overall on Strand, yeah.
Around you, spinning and slashing.
The super I think I'm most excited for is the Hunter Rope Dart super.
Hell yeah, brother.
The Hunter does a flip and weaves these strands into this rope dart and is swinging it as they're kind of moving around.
Let's go, Hunter boys, in the
First
chat.
time I saw that, even in its kind of like rough state, it just...
Hunter bros, it's just a special bond, you know? Only we understand. Damn. I'm cringing a little bit at myself now and I'm like, should I edit this out? No, I can't.
Blew my mind.
I said I would do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
We've learned a lot from creating our other subclasses, and we've taken those learnings about combat, about movement, about build crafting. We've put that all into Strand, and I'm so excited to see where players take it once it's out there in the wild.
I don't think people ran as wild with it as we thought we would. You know, the grappling to any point at the time, I felt like people thought this is going to break the game. This is going to, you know, get everyone out of bounds in parts of the map that we shouldn't be able to get to. But I don't think it really gave us that kind of tool as much as we thought, at least. It was quite balanced. Also, surprisingly, didn't feel nearly as toxic in Crucible as Stasis did. Stasis on launch in Crucible was hell. Like, it was awful. But Strand never had that impact. I felt like it hit the ground running. It was popular, but it was doable to, you know, to compete against it with the light subclasses. Maybe because the light subclasses had been updated in the meantime after Stasis. That could also be a big contributing factor here.
Destiny is a game that gets even better when you play with your friends. We want to create communities that are well...
See? You saw that nodding? He's just nodding. He knows what the guy's going to say, but I guess he just really agrees.
Welcoming, inclusive, and they'll let you bring your old friends and make new ones. And since last year, over 5 million new Guardians have joined our ranks.
We believe that there are still millions more of your friends that would love to play Destiny with you. And the things that you want to see us improve in Destiny are also exactly what's going to make it easier to convince your friends to come and check out the game.
It should be easier to create custom, incredible builds. Easier to find people to play.
Is this loadouts? Loadouts are huge. I didn't think I would use them. I thought I would stick with Dim, but I like the in-game system, honestly.
Play with. Easier to swap from being that boss melting, storm chaser wielding, falling star juggernaut right into that ultimate yeehawing, dead man's tail shooting, Titan's rampart crutching sentinel.
And if none of what Joe just said makes sense to
Joe's like, why you gotta do me like that, man? Why you gotta do me like that? I said all that, and you're gonna laugh at me?
you, we want to fix that too. Because it's
More
not
nodding,
about
though.
removing
Keep
the
nodding,
depth
boys.
that
Never
makes
stop
Destiny
nodding.
so great. It's instead about allowing
It's the slow nod as well. It's like the yeah. The confident, like, yeah. You're gonna buy it. You're gonna pre-order, even. They know. It's the confidence. I like
to
it.
dive deeper with.
And did I pre-order? I think I did, but very close to release, just so I could get the free stuff.
These.
The changes we're making to make Destiny easier to come into, changes to how you build your characters, changes to how you see what there is to do and what there is to accomplish. And in the year ahead, we're actually making it easier to form groups in Destiny so you can go and do some of the greatest content that Destiny has to offer.
All the teams are working together to build this experience, and so that's what's really exciting.
We keep on hearing from players like, hey, unless I have a friend to play with, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, like, that is still such a problem. I very recently had someone new who I know start playing the game, and they didn't even ask me, but I thought to myself, okay, like, what would I tell them to do? And honestly, I don't know. I don't remember where I got the majority of my exotics anymore because they're just coming from season pass rewards, or, you know, I obtained them so long ago that it's like irrelevant now. I don't know what the best thing to do to get even a base level of legendary gear in the game is right now. I have played so much, but I've become so far removed from the base intro to the game that I have no idea, and it's so confusing. I hope that after Lightfall they can do some major restructuring to that kind of stuff in the game, because there needs to be a safer landing zone for people to come in. You know, it's like turning up to a party when everyone's just drunk and disorderly and no one can help you. They're too far gone. You're just standing there with a couple of beers in your hand, like, what do I do? I don't know. I want to party with you guys, but you've got too much ground on me. Terrible analogy, but yeah, I think it works, kind of.
And so what we're trying to give them is like, hey, here's a path to follow. Guardian ranks are this, like, the
Guardian ranks. I forgot about that. That was Lightfall. Yeah, kind of an L. Kind of an L.
basically like a knowledge ladder. We actually progress you through.
I don't know how it is to do it from, you know, level 1. I started on level 6, like the majority of people did. Weirdly, I have the same level as Datto at the start of Lightfall, which is funny. Yeah. Good idea, poor implementation, in my opinion.
11 ranks, and it's really like heavily focusing on like exposing players to all the systems of Destiny.
Yeah, I mean, it just gives you tick boxes to do, but it doesn't tell you why you should do them, what gear you should get, how mods work, how armor stats work. Yeah, I don't know.
At some point, the story about you as a Guardian involves other Guardians and what they think about you. That is just a whole new dimension of your journey through Destiny that we've never really explored before. When you show up in the tower and you see that person who's at one of the highest ranks, you're going to know that you're looking at a player who's actually really demonstrated mastery of many of the different activities in Destiny, not just from our perspective, but from the perspective of other players. Some of the higher Guardian ranks will actually be asking for you to step up, to actually rise to the occasion and prove to other Guardians that you are a strong player and a strong leader.
A lot of people have groups that they already play with, but this will really provide people the opportunity to be recognized for helping other people learn the game, but also provide more people to play with on a regular basis.
They needed LFG way more than they needed this. Honestly, yeah. I don't know what the reason was for launching this before the LFG. Maybe it was development, technical reasons, but yeah, LFG should have trumped it 100%.
In the year of Lightfall, we're going to actually be investing in building a looking for group system in Destiny itself. You'll be able to look for other players. You'll be able to find groups that are looking for players.
I'm so excited about being able to form.
Me too. I have that kind of classic, I don't know, solar player anxiety. I wouldn't say I'm an anti-social person, but I do find it difficult to just jump into a group of friends playing a raid, and I prefer to play with people I know, and maybe this will be a way for me to find some raiders, some gamers. I don't know.
Form groups in the next coming year, because it can be really hard to get through some of the hard content solo, and making it so much easier to find people to play with is just going to make getting into Destiny and doing the awesome content so much.
They tried it, I guess, with Destiny 2 launch, but this should have been in here like 5 years ago, guys. I don't know what happened. I don't know why it wasn't more of a priority, why we got so many other things in its place, but yeah, it's coming, I guess. In the final year of the saga, it's coming.
Easier.
Yeah, and they'll be able to say, this is a player who I can trust to lead me through the new raid. I want to join their group. Or they can say, these are players who are new to the activity. I want to take them for that first raid because that'll be a great experience for them and a valuable experience for me as a leader.
It's really going to help players come together and understand each other better when they've never met before. It's going to make the game so much more social, and I think that it's going to really make Destiny players feel like they're on one team.
So Commendations is a feature.
Commendations. Where to begin with commendations?
That you'll experience towards
controversial,
the end of an activity. So you end the activity now, and you
think it's an L. Think commendations were another L.
You can click on one of the guardians and choose what experience you had with.
People just spam. Like, I don't care what commendation I'm giving or receiving. I'm just trying to make that number go up. Good idea. Poor implementation, I think, again, unfortunately. Also, LFG. Why? Give LFG.
Like, were they a good team player? Were they fun to play with?
There's no better way to actually show how good a person is.
I do like the best dressed one. That was, I think, in a patch later on, or with one of the seasons maybe, but I like that a lot. So I will give them kudos for the best dressed. That is something I can get on board with, and something I actually do give responsibly.
Is as a teammate or as a leader, than to have other players say, this person's a great teammate, this person's a great leader. It's really a system that's designed to let players show appreciation for each other.
Also, using the commendation system, people are going to be able to say, like, hey, this person as a good leader, and looking at the Guardian rank system, they have a lot of experience. It's going to be, oh, that's the person I want to help me get through this hard content that I've been struggling with.
Social games like that.
Why did they show that? Why was there like a random pre-alpha footage of a Titan on fire? Oh, because it's the upgrade thing. They were hinting at the upgrade when you would go up a level on your commendations, I guess. I don't know. Weird.
Destiny give you an opportunity to like really connect with other people and do things together and get to know each other. And with a system like LFG, you're making it so that more people can get that experience started than ever before.
Both the loadout screen and the mod manager are...
Okay, dub. Big W. Mod manager plus loadout screen. Yeah. I don't use the mod manager very often, to be honest, but just the loadouts in general, having them in game, really cool.
Are completely...
Dim is awesome, but it's nice to have it in game. LFG, you know what I mean?
New features.
The mod manager is meant to make build construction Destiny a lot easier.
And build construction, taking his words, and mods and all that kind of stuff has come so far in Destiny. It is finally, viable to make different builds, which it has really made the game a lot funner for me.
We all love our fashion game. Fashion game's amazing. And so we're going to take what we did for the fashion game and we're bringing it to the buildcraft game.
Nice, yeah. I like that.
There's going to be one...
I liked that it's in game. I don't know why I'm acting like this is this is new.
One screen where you can go to and do your entire loadout for your character. It's going to be amazing.
So you'll be able to save the build that you've put together as a loadout and then switch between those things as you're going from activity to activity.
Yeah, I feel like with the new release of Destiny and the commendation system mixed with Guardian ranks, we're giving players even new aspirations. It isn't going to be just about power level. It won't just be about gear.
Power level, yeah. Well, we know where power level is now. Nowhere. Thankfully, I'm personally an advocate for that. I think it has made the game more enjoyable for me. It takes out a bit of repetitive, unnecessary grind and just lets me play the way I want to play, which is what I think they're really trying to push for now, which is good. So yeah, another dub in the process, Bungie.
Here, it's also going to be about that Guardian rank. It's going to be about those commendations.
It's not going to be about either of those things. I'm sorry.
All the ways that we're bringing players together.
It's going to be about whether you have Galahorn or not. Hi-yo!
So today, we're
Boys
also
are back.
launching a brand new season of Destiny 2. And as we've evolved our seasons over the years, we've learned a lot. And I think we've been able to deliver some amazing character moments and events for the...
Yeah, that's true. A lot of amazing moments in seasons. Sometimes maybe too amazing. Stuff that should be in the campaigns from the expansions. But yeah, the seasons a little bit repetitive in terms of how you progress through them. I know that's changing now, but back then it was getting a little bit stale. But yeah, the quality and the value for content, in my opinion, is really good.
The community.
We're long past the era of content droughts.
Yeah, I guess.
Instead, there are exciting story and events happening in Destiny almost every week, year-round. And we're not slowing down.
Each season,
they're gonna slow down. They just announced they're slowing down with the final shape and the new future episodes. But yeah, I digress.
we want to keep raising the bar for narrative experiences in any live game. We want to keep pushing to create unexpected adventures that'll make every season of Destiny unique. And we want to keep listening and learning from you, the Destiny community, so that we can create the strongest seasons of any live service.
Because the witness is coming.
Still coming.
And if we want to survive, we need a crew. We need to enrich our defenses. If you're feeling surly, maybe even loot our enemies.
We may even need to find a captain to join us on our next adventure in the season of plunder.
This season, honestly, kind of not great in my opinion. It needed to stick to the flow, the dark kind of themes and contributing to what the ongoing narrative. It just felt like a random, like, hey, here's a wacky 3 months of pirate stuff to take a break from the main thing, which shouldn't be happening, you know, in the final year to 2 years of the story. There was nothing special about it, even, you know, taking kind of the gameplay and the activities out of the context of the ongoing story. It was just kind of a mid-season, and for me, marked another kind of low point. I didn't stop playing Destiny at this point like I had after Beyond Light from Burnout, but I drastically, you know, lowered my playtime. I was coming on every week to do the basic stuff, and that was it, basically. So this video is going to be largely focusing on Lightfall. I don't want to spend too much time talking about Season of the Plunder, but let's just let it play.
Aramis has broken free. The old crews now rally under her command.
Aramis breaking free was kind of out of left field, though. I will give them that. I didn't see her coming. You know, she's just been frozen there for like 2 years. Ominously, like obviously at some point something was going to happen. Maybe they just didn't know what to do with her, so fuck it, pirates.
I've read about them. What is the human word?
Pirates. The full vanguard should be rallied to deal with these outlaws.
Well, anchors away.
And go show those pirates what happens when they crush Spiderhead.
Good voice acting that season. Spider, Drifter. Just, yeah. It was a nice kind of group of characters. Just not the right time, I think. This feels like something that should have been the 30th anniversary pack, if you know what I mean. It's like a fun side thing. I know it did contribute to Aramis and, you know, set up the raid in Lightfall, but I don't know. Yeah, Pirates was just a bit too much. They also improved Ark this season, I think. It was the Ark. It was Ark's turn on the block to get upgraded. And yeah, it was really cool, in fairness.
Sorry, getting a little swept up in all this adventuring.
Yeah, it's too wacky. It just doesn't fit the tone of the time. I don't know. It's like a Saturday morning cartoon or something. Like a Destiny anime. This is what I would imagine the storylines to be like. You know, episodes.
What are you most excited about for Season of Plunder?
Pirates. This season we said, what if we just go to the stars and dig up buried treasure?
We are.
Why did you say that though?
Mysteries and secrets. We're swashbuckling onto enemy spaceships. And then we're also learning a lot of things about some of our favorite characters.
Yeah, I mean, those scenes were cool.
We're gonna have an adventure
for sure.
this season.
Delivery was good.
Season of
Tone
Plunder
was
kicks off with Aramis being freed from her icy prison. She's collected old, fallen crews of pirates and rogue cabal together in order to hunt down mysterious relics and treasures.
It's time to meet your end.
So Guardians are tasked with stopping Aramis from collecting these relics. And in order to do that, you have to create your own crew of shady dealers and backroom brokers.
Drifter, Mithrax, Ido, and Spider are going to be helping you.
Anchors away. Ready when you are, Captain.
That's the beginning of Season of Plunder. What you're going to be doing is forming a pirate crew of your own. You're going to fill it with different crew members that you can recruit over the course of the season.
Yeah, I mean, you could kind of do that. You know, you could spawn some allies in the activity. The way they describe it, it felt more like you were building. It was like a pirate crew sim. You know, you had like some pirate ship and you would upgrade it with people. It was the standard, you know, I don't know, what was it, 6x6 block of upgrade thingies, 2 activities. Yeah, it was the same old.
Drifter is going to toss you the keys to your personal catch. Then you're just going to set out into the stars and do cool pirate stuff.
So excited.
No, I don't think she was that excited.
This season, we have multiple brand new activities coming that will really...
Two new activities?
Give you a sense of being on a pirate adventure. One of the mainstays of this season is a new 6-player offensive called Catch Crash.
When I saw the concept for the catch with the big mainsails on it, I just said, oh my god, this is going to be a fun season.
Yeah, it was fun. Just, yeah. I'm just repeating myself. I'll shut up now.
Through the different iterations, like fighting on the deck of the ship.
You get to become your own ammunition and launch yourself from a cannon to the other ship, and you are the weapon, so you're gonna go mess them up.
The second big activity we have coming this season is called Expedition. You're going to be guiding a massive drill that's looking for this buried, hidden pirate treasure, and you're going to have to be fending off of all these pirate crews trying to protect their hoards.
It's just other Fallen. Like, it wasn't anything piratey really. Again, just Fallen.
And then our final new activity coming this season is what we're calling pirate hideouts.
We have so many like different little maps that you can piece together fragments of this season, and they lead you to the lair of the pirate lord.
Okay, it was 3. I was wrong.
Right, their hideout.
These are their caves.
Sorry for
where
misleading
they're
you.
hoarding all of their amazing treasures and their mysterious relics.
These relics are mysterious objects of dark power, and they're all over the system. We don't know exactly what it is they do yet, but if Aramis is trying to collect them, it's nothing good.
Taking the opportunity to line the Arc 3.0 update with the Fallen, it just went to work out perfectly.
Arc 3.0 was real cool.
Because you got all the simple Arc weaponry and the Arc shielded captains. It feels right with that release, almost like we planned it.
Arc is...
I think they did plan it, guys. I don't know.
Is a damage type that's about proximity, right? It's about going fast up into your enemy spaces and like deleting them. It's the damage type for people that want to hold W. You don't want to retreat.
Unbridled aggression to the max.
Hunter is really about close range action, being fluid and dynamic and agile, evasive. So we're going to give Arc Hunter a new super. We call it Gathering Storm.
Yeah.
You summon your Arc staff.
I didn't use Gathering Storm for a long time. I think even after this season dropped, because I was playing Warlock at the time. But yeah, it's really cool, really nice. You can stick it to things, you know. I like sticking to things.
Staff, like twirl above your head and then launch it out.
Yeah.
And then it will into the ground or into like bosses or mini bosses or champions and jolt them. Like a big lightning strike will strike the staff and overcharge it. And while that staff is overcharged, it'll start Tesla coiling little lightning bolts out at nearby enemies. Warlock is kind of this elemental conduit. You are a class that will turn yourself into lightning. You will create things out of lightning. Previously, we had this exotic armor piece called Getaway Artist, where you consume your grenade and it'll make a what we call a sentient arc soul that fires faster and does more damage as a result. So we decided to roll that into base arc soul behavior. Anytime you are amplified, any arc soul you have from any source will become the supercharged version that will fire off just rapid fire bolts.
Hell yeah, dudes. Yeah, the job they did with all of the light subclasses, upgrading them was fantastic. They're really good across the board. Brought them up to the darkness levels. Yeah. W, boys. Another W.
Titan's about being this unstoppable freight train. It's about this constant movement. So we gave Titans a new movement option. Something that we felt like is going to be competitive in this new environment of air dodges and air slams. That's a new ability called Thruster. And it's all in first person. It's all very much in the heat of the moment. You see it happen. Its whole property is like rush down or get away. It's a movement.
Yeah, I'm just watching it. I don't really have anything to say. It's really cool stuff. Yeah.
Tool to the max. There's going to be this new melee ability called Thunderclap, which is like an amazing thing where he like charges his fist, all super flashy. It's our first ever charge melee, so you hold down the button, and as that cocks back and charges up, you'll end up doing more damage and getting a little bit more range.
Ooh, that's really cool.
And speaking of like the whole goal of deleting things, I believe in PvP a full charge is a one-shot kill.
It is, oh yeah.
It's a little skillful to like pull off because you're gonna have to really read your opponent here. The whole through line with Arc is like, it really isn't that complicated. It's move fast, hit hard, and stay alive.
That's how I live my life every day, guys. Every day, new challenge. That was a joke. It wasn't a good joke, though.
What I'm most excited about in Season of Plunder is that this is really a season that has a sense of adventure.
Yeah. He is right, I guess.
You're exploring the system. You're looking for pirate treasure, pirate relics. You're seeing the world evolve in a way we haven't done before.
I love that with the activities in the season, like we just leaned really hard into the pirate fancies. I love that we have your own catch. I love that you're tracking down buried treasure and then going after the pirate leaders in their caves.
The interesting thing about Destiny is we're not just a fantasy game or a sci-fi game. We're kind of a blend of both. We take inspiration when we say pirates. It's old world pirates that you would see traditionally back in the 17 and 18.
Yeah. This whole season feels like an event, you know? More like a seasonal event or something. The way they do the summer, the Halloween, the winter. It just feels like they've copied and pasted another kind of era, an art style, a motif, whatever, just onto Destiny. And as a mainline story edition, it just, yeah, I don't like it. It's too far from the main course.
We have
main course pirates. That wasn't on purpose.
Like a flintlock pistol. We have an exotic fusion rifle that plays different than fusion rifles you've ever seen before.
It's just like end to end, just really leaning into that spirit of like the pirate adventure. And let's also make it so that new players coming in can actually jump in and get started. The gift of the Thunder Gods is a starter kit. It's a set of armor. It's a Thunderlord exotic weapon.
Thunderlord, goated, man. Classic OG.
So jump in, join your friends, set sail, become the captain, and build your crew today in Destiny.
Okay, so I guess that's the plunder. Back to Lightfall. Oh, no, what is this? I don't remember this. Dreadnought? Ah, King's Fall. Yeah. What a raid. This section of that raid was the best fucking part, man. Those boop cannons, letting the the noobs step into them. Good times, man. Good times.
Man, it is so awesome seeing King's Fall return.
Get those nods in.
Yeah, actually, King's Fall was the first thing I got to work on at Bungie. And I'm thrilled that a whole new generation of Guardians will get to experience this refreshed and reloaded showdown.
Done. So Joe went from King's Fall to game director, I think is his official title now. But wow, nice trajectory, man.
With the Taken King.
So, we've shown you Lightfall. We've shown you the new damage type, Strand. We've shown you some of the deeper changes to the game that we're going to be making throughout the next year. But we have one more thing that we are excited to announce today.
Destiny is coming to the Epic Game Store today.
Epic has been an absolutely fabulous partner to work with. They love...
I think I mentioned at the start of this video. I got my 30th anniversary free from this deal.
Destiny. And we are just huge fans of what they've been doing in the social game space. When we first started working with Epic, we sat down and talked about the impact that their games have had on us. And they had a bunch of the same stories for us.
They shared stories about playing the Vault of Glass and how much they enjoyed the social experiences in Destiny. And I got to talk about the summer of Fortnite Chapter 1, Season 5, when my whole family was laser focused, taking turns in the island to unlock Drift.
In addition to launching all of Destiny 2 on the Epic Games Store today, for the next week, if you download the game on Epic, we will give you the 30th anniversary for free.
And they did.
If you haven't earned your Galahorn yet, or you haven't played the Grasp Dungeon, come to the Epic Game Store and you can jump in for free.
We want to welcome all these new Guardians with a celebration. One that stretches a little further than the last city.
I also don't recall what this was. Ah, the Fortnite crossover and the Fall Guys, right. Yeah, I mean, whatever, I guess. I don't really have an opinion one way or the other. Not surprising.
A few years ago, we shared our plans for the Light and Darkness saga. This journey, years in the making, is coming to an end. Since we started charting our own course, we've been
Sticking with the pirate terminology, AC.
building this story across 5 years of expansions since the first pyramid ship emerged in Shadowkeep and we first spoke to the darkness. Then, Across Beyond
I know, Joe. I covered it in my last video. Did you not?
Light, the Witch Queen, and coming up in Lightfall in the final shape, we're building towards a climactic collision between the powers of light and dark.
We've also been working on the Destiny engine behind the scenes, preparing our technology and our game to last for many, many years to come. Because Destiny 2 is not going anywhere, and neither are your expansions. We want this story.
Ooh, that is some big nods coming from Joe right now. Big nods in the chat. I guess this is going to be kind of an announcement that they're not going to sunset the expansions going forward.
Since we first
Look at those
communicated
nods.
Darkness on the Moon to be fully playable.
Hands
start
back in
to
the pocket.
finish.
Classic
And we're
nod.
happy to announce today that we are not planning to.
Yeah, that was probably necessary. I mean, honestly, when they sunset a lot of that content originally, I was kind of like, I wouldn't say I was on board, but I understood and I wasn't upset because I wasn't playing any of that stuff anyway. But I don't think I considered the impact it would have on new players, which is where, for me, the big problem is. It made it way more complicated and difficult, both to start the game, but then also to make the free-to-play portion worth playing, because they removed most of the good content. So, yeah, it was a good decision here, I think.
To sunset any more expansions. We want the Destiny universe to grow, and we're going to continue to do everything that we can behind the scenes to keep that possible within our game engine.
But enough about the distant future. Let's talk about today, the best day all year to jump into Destiny.
Why, Joe?
Yes, because if you're looking to catch up...
Ooh. Just absolutely grind the crap out of the Witch Queen.
Right now, all expansions are free to play for this entire week on every platform for everyone.
Right now, Season of Plunder is live, and the Helm's got a set of supercharged art gear for anyone looking to catch up on the fun.
Destiny is live on the Epic Game Store. You can download it for free, and you can get the 30th anniversary pack as your welcome gift.
And if you liked what you saw about the future, right now, pre-orders for Lightfall are live on...
I was happy to get the 30th thing free, but I was annoyed that I had to do it on Epic, you know? Would have liked it on Steam, boys, not gonna lie.
all platforms. And anyone who purchases the annual pass gets the exotic auto rifle Quicksilver Storm.
Quicksilver was goated. Kind of sucked that you had to pre-order to get it in a year in advance, but yeah, it ended up being pretty cool, so okay.
Today.
Today is a perfect day to play Destiny.
So we'll see you.
I'm gonna go play right now, guys.
In game.
See you, boys. So that's kind of it, I guess. Probably a little trailer outro. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? That's probably just going to be a highlight reel of everything in the end that we've already seen. So I'm just going to pause it there and maybe give a few more final thoughts. So yeah, I mean, final concluding thoughts. Lightfall wasn't what I expected. It was for sure bad in certain aspects, but also very good in others. You know, I think it delivered a lot of good gameplay changes. The way you interacted with the game on a strictly gameplay manner was fantastic. Strand was super cool. It fit really neatly into the sandbox, enhanced it, didn't, it wasn't overpowered or toxic. It was cool. I like it. I have no complaints about Strand, except for, how they fit it into the game narratively. That made no sense. And to kind of extend on from that point, that the whole narrative of Lightfall made no sense. I'm not going to talk about the leaks and the theories about why that is. You probably all know that if you made it this far. Look, if they manage to pull this off in the final shape, I'm willing to kind of, okay, let Lightfall go. You need more time to tell your final story, whatever. But the narrative was bad. They don't mention Nimbus or Rohan in this. They did show a brief image of them, and they are also not what I imagined at all. I imagined these, Cloud Striders were going to be very, just cool, serious, mysterious, kind of pissed off dudes that are like looking at the Guardians, like, what are you doing here? We've been chilling for millennia, having our cool little city. You guys turn up with all these jetpack cabal, and you know what's going on. But they were just so cliche and so goofy, and they took the energy out of the story, whatever story was there, all the time. Like Nimbus, my god, was just so cringe. Like, who wrote that? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know why he's in the game. So yeah, like narratively it was quite poor, and it didn't really match my expectations in terms of theme and tone. I thought it would be much darker. Now, having seen, you know, the seasons play out, which have been awesome, like Season of the Witch right now is one of my favorite all-time seasons. That is so cool, so dark, so edgy and gritty. It's made me hyped for, you know, the final push into the final shape. So I guess, like, looking back on this was interesting. There was no major surprises. The inclusion of certain things like the commendations and the what was the other feature they added? Commendations and the Guardian ranks. I mean, both kind of fell on their face quite hard, I would say. Hopefully LFG does not meet the same fate. Maybe the three of them together can create a more cohesive social system. Who knows? But you know, overall, I would say Lightfall is a mid-game expansion. You know, it doesn't beat many of the previous expansions, and for sure there are worse expansions. That's kind of how I feel. So yeah, honestly guys, I know this is a long video. If you made it all the way here, thank you so much. I'm seeing a lot of growth in the channel. I'm really invigorated to keep doing more. I'm not gonna do these kind of reaction videos. I mean, I'm not gonna say never again, but I don't plan on being a reaction channel. This was just an idea based on what happened with the previous video. So if you enjoyed it, I really appreciate a like, a comment. It helps the channel grow even more than it already is. If you're here, let's pick an exotic. You know, let's put Rat King in the chat. If you got here, leave me a Rat King, guys. Thanks so much, and you know, see you in the next video. Bye bye.